This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system. Hello and welcome to the Latics Football Phone-In.
Hello.
We have blue lights this week on this backdrop.
Yeah. So if it sounds like a plane going off in the background, it's the fans in case it sets on fire.
Yeah, there are fans in the lights.
Not real fans, just fans.
So,
Extractors.
hello everyone. Welcome to the Football Phone-In. We're very excited to be here, as you can tell by the monotone in our voice.
I know, and the 35 people watching, they're probably watching City versus Arsenal. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Imagine if you were an Oldham fan and you chose to watch City v Arsenal over the Latics Football Phone-In. Would you? What would you do?
Curl up and die of shame.
Would you consider your options? Would you consider your life choices?
No.
Dave's not had a drink since when?
New Year's Eve. It was the envy, the day of envy.
Boxing Day.
Yeah, it killed me.
So
I did reevaluate my choices. You clearly haven't because you're still drinking.
Yeah, but I'm drinking in moderation, Dave. There's a difference.
There's no drinking in moderation. It cannot be done. Well,
sorry.
I can't do it.
Welcome to this week's therapy session with Dave.
Yeah, welcome
Dave revealing he's indeed an alcoholic.
We're listening. So
anyway, there was a football match last night. You didn't go, did you?
No, I was.
It's a lover.
Far from it. Far. You could. Yeah.
No,
far.
it wasn't a romantic gesture.
Nope.
So why did you not go then?
I couldn't be bothered.
Couldn't be bothered. This is not the Dave. I don't buy that, Dave.
No, it was. I've got to. Put myself first and my lady first sometimes, and unfortunately, she dragged me to death, and yeah.
She stayed and played Scrabble.
I got her some roses, which cost £50. I got a thermos flask, so there's only one winner, isn't there? Really,
which you could have taken to Latics.
But it's not an actual thermos flask. It's a food thermos flask, not a food one.
Right.
So you can put your ravioli, your hot beef paste. Hot
beef paste.
Yeah, you could do whatever. So
they're not serving that at the bar yet, are they?
Beef paste muffins.
Hot beef paste.
I tell you what, they are serving for £2. Hot Vimto, but it's a rip-off. Just take your own.
Yeah, in your thermos flask.
Just take your own, honestly.
Michael, you're in twice.
Yeah. Absolutely. Should we get some callers in? Or
should we talk about that game from last night?
Why not? Terry looks engaged. We're going to bring in.
He's watching City Arsenal match, isn't he? That's what it is. He is. He's got one eye on it, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, let's bring him in. Or should we show viewers how to call?
Yeah, go on. Show them how to call.
The Latics Football Phone-In is live every Wednesday between 8:30 and 9:30. If you want to join the conversation, then you need to join us on our StreamYard link, which looks something like this. You'll find the StreamYard link in our pinned post on Facebook, Twitter, and in the comments section on YouTube. So if you want to join the debate, that's how you do it.
Right, anyway, you know how to call, get involved. 56 of you watching, 3 of you calling.
It's only £8 a minute.
£8 a minute for Dave
that goes
chat.
on.
We'll talk about beef paste, hot Vimto, and maybe a bit about Oldham Athletic.
Dave's new project, Beef Paste Babes.
Paste Station.
Speaking of Beef Paste Babes, bring him in.
Terry. Welcome to Paste Station.
I can assure you, I'm not watching City United, but you don't want to know what I was watching.
No, we don't. No, we don't want to know.
I want to know. I'm interested.
He's in an hotel room on his own.
I've been in a hotel room on my own all week, so I'm sure you can imagine.
I would imagine you're watching like the Chronicles.
It is before Watershed.
The Chronicles of Narnia or Murder She Wrote, something like that.
It's only 8:35, so I can't tell you what it is.
No, it's not that kind of show, Tez. Your top-offs is enough.
Yeah, top-off.
Well, we've had enough of that, haven't we? Because it was funny while it lasted, but it becomes boring after a while, doesn't it? So we'll pack that one in.
Hey, Tez, thanks for the coffees, mate. That's very generous of you, by the way.
Not a problem. Anytime, you fellas. It's a pleasure coming on every week, and it's a pleasure having crack with you. Like I said, it's only a bit of fun, isn't it? You know, it's a bit of a laugh and that.
Buying us, was it 10 coffees?
10 coffees, yeah.
Yeah, so all your other
to be
people
honest,
put
putting
yourself
everybody
to shame.
else to shame. But by the way, everybody, if you do want to buy us a coffee.
So now, Dave, fans can buy us a coffee. How do you like your coffee?
Like a nice cream, white, frothy latte.
Latte. So if you want to buy Dave a
Latte.
then you can go to buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast. I'll just take mine black.
Do you drink coffee, Tez?
I do, yeah.
How do you like your coffee?
Strong and black like me women.
He went there. Anyway,
You set him up, didn't you? Tez, did you watch the football last night by any chance?
You know what? Yes and no. I was driving back from Inverness, so I stopped off in a place called Brora for some tea. Managed to get it on my tablet, but I was subjected to conversation about Oldham because the woman who worked behind the bar was from Oldham.
Oh, right.
Believe it or not. So she kept interrupting me and it did me head in. So I turned it off and then I drove home. Or I drove back to Glasgow, should I say.
What do you think of the match then and the result from afar?
Well, I only watched probably the first half. I had it on in the van, but I weren't really watching. I was just listening. We were 2-0 up and then I got rid of it.
Did you think the job were done?
I thought we'd won, yeah. That's why I turned it off. I mean, like I said, I watched it sporadically in bits and bats, so I can't really comment because I didn't really watch it properly. But I mean, if we're 2-0 up, you should see the game out, shouldn't you? Really?
I think unfortunately, Tez, what happened was the players were in the same mindset as you were. Game done, switch off, and what we did was. The first half was fairly even, right? They didn't really look like scoring. They didn't look they had too much threat. They were putting some balls across. They play some quite good football, Gateshead. They're a better footballing team than us. Like, they knock it about better than we do. And
not take much, does it?
No, exactly. It doesn't, no. But that's 2 games I've seen them now, and they passed it around us. But then in the second half, and we've said this before, if we play in their half and we press teams and we play our best football in that final third of the pitch. Yeah. And that's what we did. We pressed onto them and we scored 2 goals as a result. And then we were well on top. And what we should have done is carried on doing that. Playing the same way, keep the intensity up, not let Gateshead come out at us. As soon as we got 2 up, as soon as that happened, what we did, we started to sit back. Gateshead got the ball again. They started playing. Like, I saw Unsworth in his interview saying, like, they took control of the game. They only took control of the game because we let them. And we sat back and we let them come forward and do what they did. The goals that we give away were criminal. 2 sloppy as anything goals.
I fully agree with you, Matt. I think we play our best football, like you said, when we've got that high energy, high press, and we seem to sort of overall teams. But the minute we get a goal, we seem to sort of like we need to keep that intensity up. Now, whether we're fit enough to do that, I don't know. But I completely agree with you there. That's when we are at our best. When we've got the 2 high energy strikers that we have, Reid, Nuttall, run forever. Fondop maybe not so much, but he seems to do a job a little bit. He runs more now than what he did when we had Sheridan. But yeah, we can't play football, can we, at the minute? So what we need to do, we need to force teams into mistakes. And usually at this level, if goals aren't scored, I think Mark White said it, the goals aren't scored because of good work. They played because they scored because somebody makes a mistake. And that's, the case sort of week in, week out, I think, across the league, not just for us.
Yeah.
Well, sort of Dale is saying, why won't he start Timmy? Do you think he should be starting Timmy Abraham? Or
well, he's got a good shout, hasn't he? Every time he's come on, he's done okay. I don't think he's a bad player. Not for this level we've got. He's high energy. He runs about a lot.
I'm not sure, if he's a starter. To be honest with you, from what I've seen now in recent weeks, and this was one of the things that I wanted to talk about tonight was the comments from Unsworth talking about Reid. He mentioned in his post-match interview that he's looking more like the player that they'd scouted and the player that they'd signed. Yeah. And I sometimes think, and it's the same with Rooney that you mentioned with Rooney. I think some of these players, and I don't know the lads, so I don't want to feel like casting judgments, but maybe that I don't know what phrase to use which doesn't sound offensive. because I'm not trying to offend them, but maybe they're a bit sort of big time and a bit, you know what I mean, cocky maybe, but I don't know. And they come in thinking that they've just been signed and they're going to walk into the team, and maybe they're not giving enough in training. Maybe their attitude is not quite, because the manager sees all this. And I think sometimes what managers will do, they'll leave players like Rooney and like Reed, maybe if this is the case,
make an example of them.
Not making an example, but make them earn their place.
Yeah.
And then what happens is when Fondop gets injured, gets sent off and gets a ban, someone like Reed comes in. He said, right, you've got your opportunity now. Same with Rooney, right, you've got your opportunity now. And, they take it because they're hungry for the football again. And
I think Rooney's been a lot better the past few weeks, the past couple of weeks. I think he's been a lot better since he got left the team,
He's been playing like he's trying to keep his place, though, isn't he? He has to put his stamp on the game. And
he's been a lot better since he got left out. He's been a lot better. He's come back.
Going back to Tim.
Do you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is. Nathan Shearing is being played in his right position, and that midfield looks a lot more settled since he's been in the centre of midfield. Agreed.
I don't think that the running. I said Judge Unsworth from Christmas. He's signed all the players he wanted, and that. And I think have we only lost one still in the league from Christmas?
Played 6, won 3, drew 2, lost 1.
Drawn 2, lost 1. Is it?
Yeah, lost 1.
Yeah.
Come on.
So I mean,
I don't know.
He's lost one. He's lost one on it. He's lost one. We should have won last night.
People are, all over social media, so people are still saying, Unsworth's not the man. Get him out. That's not relegation form. That's not sack a manager form neither.
No.
No.
I don't think. I think all that kind of panicking was no use. I think if Unsworth turns out not to be the man, we'll know over the next season or two. It's got to be like next season's huge season for him. It's the second year of his contract. You've got to expect us to be a much more competitive outfit next season. If we don't go up next season, it's not the end of the world. As long as we're close, or we get in there.
If we're in this position again next season, people won't wear it, and I think he does have to go. But we have to do sustain a lot better next year.
What do you think about John Askey being there?
Focus.
Listen. He's just a bloke who can go to any football game he wants in England and Wales, isn't he? People that read into it, he might be after another job. Fair play to him, but it doesn't mean he's in for the Oldham job just because he's come watching Oldham for a couple of weeks. Does it? I genuinely don't.
We're 8th in the form table. We're 8th in the form table. 8th in the form table. Above us is Notts County, Wrexham, Barnet, Southend, Boreham Wood, Aldershot. Bit worrying, but we're 8th.
Well, word has it he's going back to York anyway.
He won't go back to York.
Oh, well, we'll find out, won't we? Anyway, listen, Tez, we've got loads of callers to get to.
Yeah,
mate,
no problem.
Including a Hollywood film star, so we better crack on. But
Pleasure.
Thanks for calling, mate. All the best.
See you next week, fellas.
Ta-da. So there we go. Top on, Tez. Got some new callers. Should we try?
Yeah.
Should we? We got someone calling from Hollywood. Should we try this Hollywood caller?
Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
How's it going, lads? You all right?
Hi, how are you doing, Kevin? You all right?
Not so bad. Not so bad.
Are you still dancing with wolves, or?
Oh no!
Dancing with poodles.
Wolves there last night, though, calling for his head.
Yeah.
Aye.
What do you think? Would you?
Listen, we were cruising, weren't we? We were cruising. I mean, Sharon again. He had the fire. He had the fire tonight, Sharon. Last night. Apologies. He had the fire last night, Sharon.
Yeah.
Plenty of fire. Red hot he was.
Yeah.
Unsworth, I'm still on the fence, lads. I'm still on the fence. I mean, the game were in the bag, weren't it? The game were there.
Yeah.
We should have won it, yeah. Did you go?
Absolutely. 2 bad mistakes there, and it's a different conversation tonight.
Did you go?
I were there, yeah. I were there.
Yeah. Where do you sit?
Right, Rochdale Road in, right at back.
Oh, yeah.
Did you take your poodle with you?
Yeah, I've got a problem with bladder. No chance I'm sitting near front there, otherwise I miss. I've got to sit near it back.
I'll sit near it back. I'll keep my eye out for you next time.
I'll be there. I'll be looking for you. Yeah, grand.
Yeah.
Have you got any other points you want to make, Kevin?
Not really, no. Have you got any questions for me, lads?
No, it's a phone and you ring us and ask the questions, so...
Not really, no. I don't know. What's weather doing tomorrow? Temperatures drop, Lancet. Is it going to snow? Is game on Saturday? What do you think, lads?
Hopefully. We should give them a good hiding on Saturday, so they've not won for ages.
We've got to do, haven't we? We've got to come away with 3 points here, and not, not a scrappy 1-0. We've got to be scoring some goals. There's goals in the side.
I do have a question for you, actually.
Go
what's
on,
your dog? What's your dog called?
What's my? Oh, Sharon. That's Sharon.
Oh.
That.
Sharon on fire or Sheeran on fire?
Sharon's arse has been on fire this evening. Crazy.
Wow.
Bloody ums in here. It looks like a scene from Chernobyl. Front room here. She's got
Chernobyl.
She's got the runs.
Chernobyl.
It's not
Chernobyl. She's got the runs, fella.
Sounds like Waterworld.
Well, if you believe. Oh, anyway. Well, thanks for calling in, Kevin.
Hey, thanks for having me, lads.
Hey, listen.
Lovely.
If you know any more Hollywood stars over the next few weeks that you can ring in, then send them our way, won't you?
Certainly will, lads. You have a good evening.
All right.
See you later,
Kevin.
Bye bye.
Nice of Kevin Costner.
All the way from Hollywood. We get the stars: Pete Wilde, Mark White, now Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
He looks a bit like someone out of Def Leppard, but never mind. Bring in Michael.
How we doing, chaps? You all right? You've gone from Kevin Costner to a Matt Lucas lookalike. All the time.
only in Little Britain, eh?
Well, that were a bit pants last night, weren't it?
It's one of those draws that you come out of feeling like a defeat, isn't it?
Yeah, like the lad I stand next to, he went at 2-0. And this was about 80 minutes. He went, it just makes a change being 2-0 up, and you can just enjoy the last 10 minutes. And then fucking 2 in 2 minutes, and we were bloody cursing him. But it wasn't so much like the goals. They absolutely just walked through us. They were playing. We were playing like we were the ones that had 2 people on the bench and kind of had been ragged all game. They looked just absolutely apathetic, and it was a shame because I thought, on the whole, it was a really good performance. I thought Kitchen played well. Yanni was strong again. I really like Alex Reid. I think him and Nuttall could be a good partnership. But just not being able to close out games. You couldn't score for a toffee, and then now you start scoring goals, and now you can't keep them out.
I know it's a mentality thing.
Yeah,
pure and simple. That yesterday. If we keep up that intensity. And think, right, we're going to get another goal. Because the third goal, they're 2-0 down away from home in the relegation zone. There's no way they should have the confidence to come back. But
I didn't even think it needed a third goal. I genuinely thought 2-0, and I think only Latics can lose this. And then we nearly bloody did. I think we probably needed a third goal last night. I genuinely thought we were playing all right. They weren't anything special. We just collapsed.
Yeah. Well, my brother said to me, my nephew, when we were 2-0 up, he said, now listen, Enzo, he said, don't cry if we concede 2 goals and we draw 2-2. Just prepare yourself.
Just be prepared. Yeah.
And unfortunately, it came to light. And I was texting, I was sending voice notes to Mark White last night at the game because I said, look, we'll do you a favour. Promise we'll beat Gateshead twice and Maidstone, and you can keep a bit of distance and do you a favour. And so I'm sending these messages, way 1-0, way 2-0, with the
I've told you about texting him. You don't like you texting him.
And then it's all right. He's blocked you. He hasn't blocked me.
The restraining order said otherwise.
And then I text him like, 2-1, 2-2. Like really, like disheartening.
Yeah.
So
because we were up to 16th as well, weren't we? When we were winning, 16th. Up to 16. Like 16.
Nosebleed territory. So what would you do, Michael? What is it? Is it the form says otherwise? Right to the table. We seem to made an improvement.
They're certainly playing better, and I don't think there's any point in sacking him now. I think sacking him now would have a worse effect than keep him. I don't think we'll go down with him, and I don't think we'll go down without him. So just for continuity, I just don't think there's any point in sacking him now. But just like I say, not being able to close out. You look at the players, and I don't think they're a terrible group of players. But why do they just look so abject sometimes? And like you said, Matt, it has to be a mental thing. So do you get in? Do you get in some kind of sports psychologist? Do you take them away and do kind of team building somewhere? They almost play like a team that doesn't train together. And just sometimes they play like it's walking, non-contacting football. And it's non-league football. So I'm not expecting like it was when we were in League One, but like I said, like just them, well, for one of them goals, it was like it was walking non-contact football. It was
just backing off and backing
yeah.
off. I mean, it was poor, but look, I mean, teams take time to form, don't they? Teams don't just become teams. You know, you bring a group of people together. You have to form them into a team. You have to work. They have to get to know each other. They're all professional footballers, so it shouldn't be such a massive jump to know like how it works in a football team. Having said that, it does take time for people to get to know each other, to gel, to know each other's character and all that kind of stuff. I'm not panicking. I haven't been panicking all season, although there has been moments when I've been, you know, thinking well, it's getting a bit too close for comfort. I think we'll have enough. I think we'll pull away. I don't think sacking the manager is a sensible call. Regardless, I think he's got a 3-year deal. He needs time to implement that deal. I think this same set of players, the good ones that we've got, are going to be a lot better come next season. And I think there's going to be additions. Are going to be a lot stronger. And I think we're going to have to start next season amongst the favourites in the division. I think that's a different type of pressure next season, because when you look at the kind of money that we're spending,
I don't know.
Especially if Wrexham and Notts County both get promoted.
Wrexham aren't going up.
Well,
and I hope they don't.
Well, I mean, I hope they do. Really, I mean, really, what we want is a more competitive. You know, them two are both like 20 points clear at the top. We want them all. We don't want that again, do we?
In terms of Rooney's form over the last few weeks, it seems to have improved, as Matt said. But what do you think of Alex Reid? He looked sharp, didn't he, last night?
Yeah, and I think he had a bit of. Everyone was like, "Where's Alex Reid? Where's Alex Reid?" And he must have had some kind of injury, because I don't think you spend that kind of money on a forward and not playing. Whether he had a niggle when he came from Solihull or not, I don't know. But yeah, I do think they link up quite well. And last night was Nuttall's, but wasn't his best game. But you look at. Someone put a stat on the hashtag on Twitter last night of games with him, games about him, and was like, we've almost double goals scored. And I just think he's a great player for this division. He's big, he's nasty, he's strong. You know, he's the type of forward you don't like having a defender to defend against. You know, leaves his foot in there sometimes. He you know, almost like people bounce off him just because he's pure, like solid muscle. I really like him.
You were getting pelters last night, and everyone has their off day, don't they? Do you know what I mean? He can't, but he's not a world beater because he plays in the National League. But I think you're right. Fans here are just some of them can be so unreasonable about one performance.
I love our fan base, and I hate them on the same breath. And it's like they still think we're in the Premier League. You know, we can see you're gonna have off days and bad days, but you have a bad spell, and you can hear everyone, you know, start booing, and I'm like, fucking come on! I just don't think booing it's a confidence thing. You know, I think. Our biggest problem is confidence and booing. And a lot of these are young lads. Yeah, they're professionals, but still young lads. So if you're on at them all the time, it can have,
we said that. We asked Pete Wild that last week, didn't we? We said, like, does it affect players? And he said, yeah, of course it does.
Yeah.
And no player goes out there not to give a shit. And he said that, didn't he? He said they try and they give everything, don't they? Do you know what I mean? The mortgages are on the line. They're not there just to make up the numbers.
No.
Exactly. And those that are on short-term deals or on loan, you know, they're in the shop window for the next club. You know, all right, there's some of them that have been given longer deals. Some I agree with, some I don't. I don't know why Norman's been given a longer deal. He's capable of the, you know, spectacular save, but he was at fault for one of the goals last night, and he was definitely at fault for one of the goals last week where he just dropped it from nowhere.
Yeah. I know. I mean, yeah. I think at this level you're going to get goalkeepers that are going to make mistakes. I think for me, I'm looking at both those goals last night and thinking Norman should never have been in a position, especially that one, the one that he fumbled, shouldn't have been in a position to have to deal with it. Our defenders in both instances were too slow, didn't react quick enough. He's one of 11 players that could have influenced that goal. So, you know, I think goalkeepers do come in for a bit of stick. I feel a lot more confident with Norman in goal than I have done with some of the absolute nightmare keepers we've had in recent years.
Day,
so, you know, I mean, God, we've had some
bloody hell.
You know, so I'm happy enough to keep consistency in the sticks. I think like people have been saying since we've gone 4 at the back, he's looked more solid. I think the 3 at the back was confusing for everybody. So
you almost don't want to upset that back 4 now. But I just think, you know, you're still a better team with Clark in it. So, but then, like you say, Sutton's been brilliant. Yarni's been immense.
Yarni's a great signing.
Yeah.
Kitchen, I think, is he on loan or is he ours, Kitchen?
No, he's our signing. Yeah, I think the only one that you would swap for Clark is Hogan.
Yeah.
At the minute,
Yeah.
if you had to,
Though,
but he's the captain, and I think you've got to give him. You've got to give him. Look, I mean, Clark's there. Clark's made a mistake, stupid mistake, in getting sent off, and he's lost his place. And I think that in a team game like this, in a competitive squad,
someone says we need to take Yardy to the contract into next season. Well, he's here till the end of next season.
Yeah,
so
we've signed him, haven't we?
Don't worry, Martin.
Yeah.
Right, Michael.
All right, have a good one. Take it easy.
Yeah. Right, we've got another new first-time caller.
Emily.
Callers. Emily and... You're on mute.
You're on mute.
I'm on mute. Hiya. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
All right, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I thought I'd give you a call in, representing some of the long-distance fans in New Zealand.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, I'm actually in London at the moment, but I have been started out as an Oldham fan from NZ. So thought I'd say hello.
Okay,
welcome to the show.
Yeah, tell us your story, because you've got an accent. So you're from New Zealand.
Yeah.
So do you have any Oldham connection? I'm intrigued.
Yeah. No, so my partner's dad is from Oldham. So yeah. So that's the connection. So I started out watching Oldham at 3:00 in the morning from Auckland in New Zealand. But now I've been in the UK for the last 2 years. So I've managed to make it to some live games now.
Excellent.
Which ones have you been to?
I've been to a few. So I arrived at the end of 2020. So managed to sneak into the Cambridge United game when we were still kind of lockdowny.
I remember that one. Yeah.
But I've been to a few since then. Been to Boundary Park a few times. Made it to the Torquay game start of this season, which was really lovely. Good away week in that one. The last game I went to was Dorking, which was nice. So I haven't been to any since then.
Are you going to Barnet in a couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, we were supposed to go last week and then it got shifted. But yeah, we'll be going when it's on.
Great stuff.
So your partner's dad is from Oldham, and then does that mean that is your partner's dad and your partner both still follow Latics then? Is that that's the connection? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, so my partner moved to New Zealand, lived there for 2 or 3 years, and he was religiously signing into iFollow every Monday morning, I think it was, at 3 a.m. Watching the games from the other side of the world. But now that we're back in the UK, it's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. So, what do you think about this season and how we've done it? Are you concerned, or do you think Unsworth is doing a good job? Are you happy with the appointment?
He's all right. He's a bit mediocre, run of the mill. He's not terrible. He's had a hard go because there were a lot of injuries and things at the start of this season, but it hasn't been brilliant, has he?
Well, the results haven't been brilliant, have they?
Yeah. Well, what you get from a New Zealander is honesty. So it's like straight away, it's like, yeah. So in terms of what the new signings that we've got in, like Joseph Yardy, have you seen an incremental improvement over? Because we've only lost one game in 2023, so we seem to be making small steps and then letting ourselves down. Like last night, like 2-0 up last night. What do you think when we're 2-0 up?
Yeah, it was good. It was nice to see it 2-0 up. But you never sit easy watching an Oldham game, do you? It's always a feeling that things are about to go south, and unfortunately they did last night. But yeah, I think things are definitely improving. The team seems to be like that. There don't seem to be any big gaps in the team anymore. I don't think it's just that they're not gelling very well yet.
Yeah.
I think we see signs of them gelling and signs of
confidence dipping.
Signs that there's still a lot of work to do depending on what's going on. So, but look, I mean, it is going to take time. I mean, we are at our lowest point. We've never been so low in and the things the kind of things that really annoy me and really confuse me and baffle me are the things that happen at a football club, regardless of who's the owner, regardless of who's the manager, regardless of who the team is. Things like teams that are on bad runs of form come to Boundary Park and pick up points. It happens. This is not a new thing. This has been going on for years and years and years. And, the last one was Halifax. And unfortunately, on Saturday, we've got Maidstone, who have been on a similar run. And it bothers me because it's exactly the kind of game where Latics are expected to win, but you just don't know.
The Oldham hacker, by the way, is that. I think. So what's your most memorable game that you've been to as a Oldham fan?
I think it has to be Dorking, doesn't it? That was a highlight.
Well, I don't think I'd ever hear that answer. But yeah.
Well, yeah, 5-1.
Also sitting through that weather, that was memorable more ways than one.
When you think about it, when I asked my nephew, I said this last week, but his two favourite games were Dorking at home and Eastleigh at home. And that's a bit grim, really, when you think about the calibre of opposition that we're playing there. But when you think this season, 5-1 win was probably the best. The 4-2 the other night, I suppose, was decent, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's
just, this season's just like a complete washout now.
I can't believe that we aren't romping towards promotion like your
Well, I know
prediction,
I can't believe that some idiot said that at the start of the season on the podcast. But hey, Matt, we all make mistakes.
Hey, you do. Yeah, we do. We do. So anyway, first time caller.
First time caller
From New Zealand. I think you deserve. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wheel of Wonder.
Thanks, Matt. And tonight's prizes are a Boundary Park Alert System t-shirt, a jar of beef paste, a signed photo of Matt and Dave, an OAFC replica shirt, an OAFC set of coasters of 4, Mike Keegan, This Is How It Feels book, 2 complimentary tickets for the next home game. However, if you get a red card from the ref, you get nothing on the Wheel of Wonder! Just step round. There you go.
Is this the real reason you called in with the whole together Wheel of Wonder? Yeah, it is exciting.
Right then, so in 3, 2, 1, we want you to say spin the wheel. So 3, 2, 1.
Spin the wheel.
But you got to do it better than that. 3, 2, 1.
Spin the wheel.
There we go. It's a Boundary Park Alert System t-shirt.
Hey.
So if you just contact us on Twitter, if you're on Twitter, just let us know your size. And then we'll get it sorted in the next London game if we're down there, or we'll post it out to you. Okay?
Amazing, cool. Thanks, guys.
You nearly landed on beef paste.
Have you ever had beef paste?
Do you have beef paste in New Zealand?
I don't think we do. No.
Well, you should try it.
There's a market. There's a market.
It's an English delicacy.
As a Tory, you'll be exporting this, won't you? Know?
Pardon? What did you say?
I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, don't worry. But Well,
so you live in London, yeah?
Yeah.
Are you a member of the Oasis group then? You know, the Oldham Athletic supporters in the south.
Oh no, I'm not actually.
Oh yeah, well there is a group.
There is a group.
Yeah. Andy from the podcast's on in it, and they're on Twitter anyway and stuff like that. So
yeah, get yourself involved and
check them out.
Yeah, and be depressed together. We'll sort out the shirt. But drop us a message. We really do appreciate your call. But if England are beaten by New Zealand in the rugby, I don't want to know you anymore.
It'll be neutral. Be fine.
Okay.
You mean when New Zealand?
Behave. Let's not get into rugby. I'm not talking about rugby.
You're going to rugby next week, aren't you?
I am. I am going to Wales versus England.
Dave's going hanging around with his Tory friends in Wales.
Yeah, and then I'm going to the England-France game. So yeah.
Fancy.
There you go. So I'm going to go and watch England get defeated twice. But hey, such is life.
You're an Oldham fan. It's no big deal.
Well, thank you, Emily. All the best. And see you next week. And hope you tune in next week. Take care.
Bye.
Thanks, Emily. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey,
Ibby, talk to me.
Evening, guys.
How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right, mate. Disappointed. Yesterday, I was at the game. I felt very, very low. I thought relegation was confirmed. That's how the feeling was leaving the ground. How did we manage to Yeah, how did we manage to do that? I don't understand.
I know it's like we were saying before. It's that mentality thing. When we made the game difficult for them, we played really well in the second half by pressing them back and stopping them playing. But as soon as we gave them time and space, they made the most of it. So it's very frustrating. But I think we gave them the opportunity rather than them creating the opportunity. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, definitely. I thought that number 42 for Gateshead was outstanding.
Yeah,
he was an handful, wasn't he? And he took his goal. He scored the first goal, didn't he? He took it really well, to be fair.
Yeah, he's on loan from Middlesbrough. They really rate him highly because I met one of the club staff who was in the stand because he comes and watches him. And he said we highly rate him. And I said fair dues because he looked very promising.
Yeah.
So what would you have done last night that David Unsworth didn't do to keep that 2-0 victory? What would you have done?
I would have left Alex Reid on the pitch. I know he might have been blowing on this and that, but I thought he was outstanding yesterday. And John Rooney, I'm just happy for that lad. He seems to have come back and he's just fighting. And we really should have bagged the 3 points. And I can't believe it. I can't still understand how we managed to throw that away. And about the manager, I'll give him my support. And I believe that if the club are going to get promoted, they need to get somebody in proper who knows how to do the job. Because John Askey has been at the game a few times and he's very interested in the job.
Why is that though? Is it just because he lives locally? Because that's what I've heard. He lives like Manchester way, doesn't he? I think so. Why is he always at these games? Do you know why? Do you have any inside info for us?
I've been told he's spoken with the club and he's met Frank a few times and Frank has been impressed, but Frank is not willing to pull that the gun at the moment.
I'm not having it a bit. I'm not having it. I don't think he's going anywhere, and I don't think he should go anywhere. I think that getting rid of the manager this stage of the season would be crazy. I think the results are improving a little bit. All right, we're nowhere near as good as we should, not as we should be, because I think we are where we are because of the situation we've been in. I think that given next season, I think we'll see a different team, and I think sacking managers all the time is the curse of modern football. And I think it's used to be that everybody was like, up in arms about managers getting sacked all the time, and now everybody's got used to it as though it's like getting used to having herpes or something. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean it's a good thing. It just means you've got used to it. Do you know what I mean? So it's
I understand that, but come on, guys, look where we are in the table. We're not even safe yet, and it could go both ways. And this is what I'm trying to come up with.
But if we got rid of Sheridan because everybody said we need to get rid of Sheridan, and we brought in a new manager, and it didn't improve things straight away, did it? I mean, what happens if you get rid of another manager and you get somebody else? It's just a spiral, merry-go-round.
I spoke with the club and they're not saying much about the manager with me, but fair dues, it's up to them what they want to say. But I know where my money will be staying next season if we are struggling the way we are, and because I can't see any changes, sadly.
Do you not think there'll be an improvement under Unsworth then?
I can't see it really. On and off, he does few wins and then we go back to square one, and I'm getting really fed up with it. I've spoke with Mark at the club. I don't know what role is, but he's telling me he's not allowed to say anything about the manager out of respect. And I told him that's up to what you want to say, but you need to at least tell us.
I think we've all got a lot to say without really knowing what we're talking about as football fans. I mean, sorry, I'll comment like this from Gary. He was entitled to his own opinion, but he's a PE teacher at best. If he was a PE teacher, he wouldn't have been a professional footballer. He wouldn't have worked on the coaching staff at Everton for such a long time. So I think stupid, you know what I mean. I think like look. He might not turn out to be the manager that takes us up through the divisions, but we've got to give him time to build a footballing infrastructure at the football club, because we've not had it for such a long time. What we need is that if and when he leaves, the next manager that comes in has got a recruitment system, a training system, a youth system, all these kind of things to come into. Otherwise, he's just coming into to the same problems or slightly lesser version of the next problems. You've got to give somebody time to build something at the club. And if it means we get promoted next season, great. If it means that we're challenging for the playoffs next season, we don't get it quite there, but we're improving, then I think we have improved. I think the signings that he's made has improved his group.
Who's calling the shots at the club? Is it really Frank or Darren? This is what I'm confused about. The club are not really telling me about this.
But what's behind your question with that? What's your concern if it is Darren, and what's your concern if it's Frank? Who would you rather have calling the shots? That might be the question.
It's Frank's money, and I've heard rumours that Darren has made it clear if David Unsworth goes, he'll be also leaving the club. And I'm trying to ask the club, is that true? Darren's not willing to email me. He's asked me to come into the club to speak with him. But I know that by attending the club, he'll only say the things that I don't want to hear. And I want to hear the things.
What are the things that you don't want to hear?
With all due respect to it, it's not up to the club to answer individual fans about every single question and query that we've got. We've got the Supporters Foundation. It's our job is to ask these things. Certain things, if we're concerned, there's got a board of directors who are paying the bills, who are running the club properly. We've got a CEO who is, they're all new to the job. We have to let them get on with it for a bit before we start, criticising and pulling it to pieces.
I think fans do. I know the Supporters Foundation is there, but they don't speak for all fans, do they?
But the club. I mean, if I was a manager or the board, I wouldn't answer every single fan, every single question.
I'm not saying answer everything, but the fans do have a voice. The fans do have a voice. So I'm not saying.
Where's this fan forum? Yeah, where's this fan forum that was promised? This is the things that I'm trying to come up with, and the club I just don't want to.
That's a fair question. Yeah. That's a fair question, Abby, and that's something we've got hopefully a meeting with the board, our board of OASF, with the club board soon, so we will get that sorted. This is not something that I'm directly sort of trying to organise. So there are other people within
I hope you understand why I've rang in and what I'm trying to come up with.
We do. We understand you're frustrated. We understand you want answers, and
I think compared to the situation that we've just come out of, there's a lot less that we need to worry about in the immediate time. I think over time we see just how successful this appointment is. Not every appointment at a football club is successful. Not every managerial appointment is successful. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some take time. Some aren't given the time that we needed. And as long as the club's being run properly and people are doing things with the right intentions and for the right reasons, money's being well spent. We're not wasting money. We're not, behaving like we did in the past. Then I don't think we've got a great deal to be overly critical about. That's my personal view for now.
Yeah,
anyway.
I understand that, but what do you make about John Rasky? Just say if David Unsworth went and the club wanted him in, would you?
I'd support whichever manager the club brought in, but I don't think the club will do that. I don't think there's any point in doing that, or any sense in doing it at this stage in the season. And I just don't think it's going to happen. So I mean, there's absolutely nothing to say that if he came in or anybody else came in, that it would be a success, because it's all a risk. Everything's a risk, isn't it?
What about Saturday against Maidstone? That is a must win, isn't it? To me, we've got Barnet. I think, is it Gateshead away? How many points do you want out of them games, or how many do you think we'll achieve?
I want to win them all, but knowing David Unsworth and what happened yesterday, I think we might be having some slip-ups again.
So you blame yesterday's capitulation on Unsworth rather than the players, and why is that?
The players and the manager subs killed the game off.
I don't know because it's a team game, and the Gateshead got through us far too easily as a team. It's not just the substitutions; it's the 11 players, the 10 outfield players, the goalkeeper. when you're 2-0 up, it's the responsibility of every single player on the pitch to stop them from scoring, to stop them from having the ball, to stop them from passing, to stop them from finding space. There's lots of things that need to be done that we were doing well, and then we stopped doing. And there's not like
that. But before I can understand where you're coming from. Before I go, I've got nothing against David Unsworth, but there has been mistakes along the way because it's his first job. But I've come to a point where enough is enough now, I think.
Right. Well, everyone's entitled to their opinion. Do you know what I mean? And that's fine.
That's why I mean, if we all agreed, then the phoning wouldn't be much of a
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys, for having me on the show tonight.
It's always a pleasure, mate. We've got a question from Danny though. He wants to know if you are John Askey's agent because you mention him a lot. So can you just confirm you're not his agent?
No, I'm not his agent, but I know a few agents that I've built bonds with in the past. So I get my information from some of them, and that's how it works.
Okay.
Right. Well, so.
Well, stay in touch.
on that note, yeah.
Look after yourself, mate.
Take care, pal.
Bye-bye, pal.
Take care, mate. All the best.
Bye. Right. Well, that concludes our callers for the evening. We've got no one else in the queue, so if you do want to call in, do it now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'll be clocking off.
Yeah. The next caller who comes in can do some quick fire questions with me and Matt.
Ooh.
So
I'm sure that's going to put literally everybody off there, to be honest with you. But we did establish last week that Barry Owen is the devil. Or he's not the devil, but is preferable.
Funny story. Mr. Owen.
Yeah, we'll be watching now, by the way. Hello, Barry. All right, mate.
Or Lucifer, whatever you want to be called. I could call you somewhat worse, but I won't. He got in touch with our guest last week.
Yeah.
And
I think the phrase is that he saw his arse as a result of your question, Barry Owen or the devil.
Yeah, he did.
Well, I mean, you make your own bed and you lie in it, don't you, at the end of the day?
Talking of guests, we've got a few more coming up, so stay tuned. We're going to try and do like a guest once a month. Regular guest.
We also have an exciting end of season event, don't we? Which we can't say anything about just yet.
But it is alive.
But it's alive.
Alive.
Behind this.
Yeah.
We're creating like a Frankenstein's monster superfan.
Well, yeah. From Paddy Harwood's head.
And the rejuvenated corpse.
Ibby's voice.
Someone we've just been talking about.
Tezzy's body. Your arm, my arm. Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be a super fan.
Yeah.
And Barry Owen's brain.
Oh, God.
So yeah, look out for
that. So there we go. Hang on a minute.
Here we go.
We've got a call.
God.
Oh, here we go.
Here he is.
All right, Danny.
All right.
Talk to us then. Go on.
Hiya.
Oh, do you want to do the quick fire questions? Is that why you phoned?
Of course it is.
Right. Okay. Well, let's play the jingle. Quick fire questions. Right, we're going to improvise this week, Danny, because we haven't got any questions prepared. But I'm going to say one thing, he's going to say another thing, and then you have to choose.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you start.
Beef.
Ham. Beef or ham?
Beef.
Toast.
Crumpets.
Sugar.
Hang on, let's let him answer.
All right. Sugar.
Salt.
Sugar.
Oldham.
Barbados.
Oldham.
Cricket.
Rugby.
Neither.
Alex Ferguson.
Mark Hughes.
Alex Ferguson. I hate Mark Hughes.
Barry Owen.
The devil.
I'd love to know where he lives so I can egg him.
Barry Owen.
Or the devil.
The devil, I think. Yeah.
God.
Or the devil.
You meant to say Dave Bradley, but never mind.
Oh, we've gone over a minute.
We're done.
Oh my God! Let's not do that. Let's not do that again.
No, we'll definitely set him up. So, what did you think of the game last night, mate?
Not getting on his back. Not Unsworth, not all. I thought it was appalling last night. He just didn't look interested. Gave the ball away far too easy. That second goal, he tried doing some. I think he tried to turn on a sixpence, gave it away. They went forward, banged it in. I just thought, what is he still on that pitch for? Why? He must have something in his contract to say he must play 90 minutes.
I don't think he's going to take off. Not all. I mean, if he had Fond up on the bench, he might do a straight swap, might he? But I can't see him playing. I mean, he's going to have to change it around quite a bit. I think if he does that, he has to put an extra man in midfield. And I don't know how it works formation wise and personnel wise if he does take Nutt all off. Even though I do appreciate what he's saying.
We're not all football managers, are we? None of us are. Unsworth is. I trust Unsworth at the minute. I'm on the fence with Unsworth, but Reid looked more hungry than not all last night. He might have been blowing, but he still looks more hungry for it. I like Reid at the minute. I think he's coming good. Rooney coming good. And like Josef Yanni, I think he's an absolute brick wall. I know we conceded 2 last night, but he put his head where someone had pulled the foot away.
Yeah,
I think he's a lot better quality than National League. I think he's definitely a League Two.
He's Peter Clark 10 years ago.
Yeah, and I think and Will Sutton has really started playing well. Dan Gardner last couple of games has improved as well. I mean, this is what we need, isn't it? And look, I mean, one of the other things that I think as football fans we see things very sort of black and white. We look at the performance and we make a comment on it. But the part of football management is managing people, managing players, managing individuals, understanding where they're at in their life and in their career and in their form and all this, and managing it. And sometimes I think that it needs patience, and it needs patience for managers and stuff. And I think maybe some of the work that Unsworth is doing, which is really good with certain players, is kind of going unnoticed. And you start to see it then, as some of the performances improve. I just think there's a lot that goes on that we don't see that probably managers and coaches don't get credit for.
I think part of it as well with Dan Gardner is he's got a 2-year deal. So he's here next season. So he's got to try and utilise him. And I thought when he came on against Dagenham and Redbridge, he played really, really well. There's still no news on Mark Shelton's injury. I don't know how long he's out for because he looked like a bad one.
To be honest. Since Rooney's been back,
I think Shearing, as I say, he's always been my favourite, one of my favourites. But he doesn't get the credit he deserves, and he's sort of that holding midfield role now to let these other players have that creativity. Because if you think back to mid-season, you had like bloody Dan Gardner, or you had who else? You had Lewis Maynard in the middle. Do you know what I mean? And Shearer were at right back, so.
Yeah.
Kitchen has been a standout player for me as well. He's started to come good. I'd like to see a little bit more of Benny Couto. I'd like to see a bit more of Benny Couto.
I think there's potential for Couto and Kitchen to combine really well. Having 2 left footers down that left wing could be really good, because I always think when you play down, if you're going to play like that, you need the overlaps, don't you? You need someone getting around each other, but Couto's got a good on him. So
it's just his defensive play is always a bit suspect, isn't it?
But if he's playing left midfield, then
do you know what I want to sort out as well? Just while we're on it, Angol stops, Weiler, Maynard, Maguire. I don't know what's going on with them. Just pay them off. Windass, get them rid.
Yeah, well, they'll have to. They'll wait till the end of the season.
In the long run, to get rid of them now and pay the wages for the rest of the season.
I don't know. They will have to wait and see what happens. They'll in the pre-season, in the end of the season, they'll be a bit clear out, won't they? Some of these players are going to be gone. No. Do
you know what? You see them all over Instagram living the football life, and you just think, wow, stealing a living like me at work.
At least you have the decency to come on and say it, though, Danny. Eh?
So, Maidstone, then, mate. What we're saying, is it a must-win?
4-0 Oldham.
Should be. You know what? It should be. It should be 4-0 Oldham. We should go out there on Saturday, get an early goal, a couple of early goals to start.
Is Fondop back?
Fondop, I think he's got one more game, hasn't he?
Might have one more game, but I'd start with not Oldham Reed again, to be honest with you.
Well, that means a couple of cans of Red Bull on Saturday because last night it's always
you never know what's going on, do you? But again, I'm a bit gutted I can't go on Saturday because I'm in training for something, so I can't say what. But yeah, I won't be there. No, not this Saturday. Next Saturday.
I keep thinking it's okay.
Oh, that's that white collar boxing fight you're doing, isn't it? For charity.
I've been there, done that, undefeated. So I've retired undefeated.
Is it health and safety training?
No, it's not. No.
Is it beef paste awareness?
No, it's community service. No, it's not.
Have you been caught speeding?
Nope. No comment.
If you'd like to guess what days in training for, please leave comments in the Twitter feed.
Way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Going or not going?
Going.
I'm at the rugby.
Train, coach, car.
Probably going to drive, to be honest, so I can stay out of trouble.
So, yeah, the next few games are quite big. So we've got Maidstone, Gateshead, and then the big one at Chesterfield, haven't we? So
yeah. I think we've got Barnet in the mix as well.
Yeah, that's after Chesterfield, I think. I think. Yeah, it's
28.
28.
Last week I said I'd be happy with 7 points out of the next 9, out of the next 3 games. And last night I thought that, fucking hell, we've got 3 points here, we've done it. And I just looked at Zoe in disbelief. I was just like, what on earth has just gone on there? The absolute smash and grab. And to be fair to them, that must have felt like a victory to them.
Yeah.
And like Ibby said before, that just felt disheartening last night. Walking out of that ground, it was just like, wow.
Yeah, but just think how we'll all be feeling on next week's phoning after back-to-back wins against Maidstone and Gateshead.
Oh, yeah, going into a treble against Chesterfield. Just let me say, they're dropping points, like Dorking are dropping positions.
Yeah.
I
think we've lost 5 out of the last 6 or something.
Well, we always seem to book that trend, don't
Nothing
we?
like playing Oldham to sort that out, is there?
Well, I like Chesterfield away. Peter Clark coming up with an header at the end, and I love that game. I love that ground.
Let's hope we.
Well, that was the day my son was born. That he was born as the header went in. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Is there a connection to that? Like, did you?
Well, he came on Earth as we won the game. So I'm not having another child, so don't worry about that.
No, I just say didn't. It wasn't because you were like, I don't know, shaking the pregnant wife in joy.
Shaking her up. No.
Anyway, don't shake.
Yeah,
pregnant
don't
women
shake women
or babies
or men.
But
anything.
Is he 10?
No, he's 6. 6.
It's only 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. Seems like a lifetime.
So much has happened, Danny. Right, let's call it on the head before we reminisce too much.
Yeah.
Nice one, mate. See you on Saturday, yeah?
Yeah, see you Saturday. See you
Saturday,
mate.
Take care, mate. Bye. Hey, you know what you've been watching this evening?
It's football phone-in.
There we go. So thanks for watching.
It's football phone-in.
It's always a pleasure to have you all here with us on a Wednesday.
Jingle there.
For those who are listening to this because they wanted to watch the Arsenal v City game, shame on you. I believe City are winning 3-1.
3-1, but I don't care.
No, I don't care either.
And thank you, Barry, for watching, because you know we love you.
You're just a devil woman. The Boundary Park Alert System is hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean, Andy Halliwell and Dave Bradley. A huge thank you goes to those people who already subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate you all, and if you'd like to help us out financially, please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click support or find the link in the show notes. It's only $2.99 a month to subscribe, but if you'd rather make a one-off donation, please visit buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast or click the link on our website. Please follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok at OAFC Podcast, and subscribe to youtube.com/@OAFC Podcast, where you will find the Latics Football Phone-In with myself and Dave Bradley live every Wednesday from 8:30 p.m. We'd like to thank Arlene Finnegan for writing our excellent weekly blog, which we encourage you to read on our website every Saturday morning. And thanks also goes to Paul Prendergast for providing us with all the Latics Mind questions. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. You can help change the game by listening to us on the Fan Hub app along with all major podcast platforms. Please like, subscribe and review the pod and help us climb the rankings to get more listeners wherever you listen. Thank you for listening, and if you'd like to be a guest or contribute to the show in any way, we'd love to hear from you. See you next week.